Hi there. Today I want to show you how to use your knowledge and your skills to put together a business framework that can make you take action. Maybe you have toyed with the idea of starting your online business, but you don't know where to start. So you have a lot of value within you today that you can leverage to start that online business today. So let me show you. In this presentation, I use a shape that I really like. This shape is the hexagon, and the hexagon is something that I like to make sure that it's, if not perfect, very almost perfect. So what I did in order to prove that, I put this circle and these two lines, and the angle is 60 degrees, as you can see, and then I brought an hexagon from my software, my presentation, and then I tried to make sure that the corners of the hexagon were aligned with the intersection between those lines and the circle. It's maybe something silly, but I wanted to show you how, this shape that I'm going to be using along this presentation. So bear with me, because in the next slide I'm going to show you, and by the way, this shape I love it because it has to do with these beautiful animals, the bees. They create these beehives made of hexagons. The shape is the hexagon, and I really love these animals. I try not to hurt them. I've never been stung by a bee if I don't bother them. I've been stung twice because I bother them. Otherwise, they just fly away and they leave me alone. If I leave them alone, they leave me alone. So, hey, but now here we are. Here we are using those hexagons, and what I want to show you is that if you have the knowledge about anything, okay? I'm not talking about your daily job. Maybe you have knowledge about gardening or cooking or writing or any skill that you possess. You have knowledge. And the skill is how you use that knowledge to do something with that, to do something, right? So you have knowledge, and then you practice and you become good. You develop the skill. It's like riding a bicycle or chopping wood or any skill that you have, is because first you learn how to do it, and then you did it again and again and again. So you have those two things today. I don't know what you might be thinking right now, but you have those two things right now. You don't need to learn anything new unless you want to. But right now you possess knowledge and you have a skill of any kind. So what is next? What is next is to put those things together, the knowledge and the skills, and then you're going to find yourself that you can do something with those, with that knowledge and with those skills. What can you do with those? How can you turn that into a business? Well, you need to use that knowledge and those skills to put yourself out there as an expert. And to put yourself as an expert, you need to show that you know and that you are capable of using that knowledge to do something of value. So now you become an expert. Maybe you're already an expert, but if nobody knows that you're an expert, it makes no difference. So you need to start thinking of that knowledge and those skills as something that you can use to promote yourself. And what do you need to promote yourself? Well, you need a system. You need what we call marketing, because marketing is an instrument that allows to put yourself in front of thousands or millions of eyes and ears that they can accept or that they can get to know you. If you don't start that relationship, if you don't put yourself out there using marketing, then nobody is going to know that you are great at cooking, or that you are great at martial arts, or that you are great at speaking, that you are great at writing, whatever you want to call, whatever your niche you think that you can capture. You need an instrument to get yourself to those people. So in this image, now we're putting together these four things: the knowledge, the skills, the expertise, and the marketing. Now you're onto something. If you start putting more context to these elements, you're gonna come up with something that is gonna look like in the next part. So let's take it one by one. Let's talk about knowledge. There is generic knowledge that some people call it common sense. Some people think that everybody knows it, but you will be surprised that there are so many things that are so basic, so simple, and people don't know about those. People need someone who tells them how to do something that for some people seem like very mundane, very simple. That is generic knowledge. Then you get into the specifics. Let me give you an example of this. If I get a flat tire, I know how to change a tire, right? With basic knowledge, with the manual in my car, I get to know how many steps are involved, and I can manage. If I want to change my own tire, I can do it. Now, when it comes to understanding the difference between a snow tire versus a rain tire versus an all-terrain tire, and when do you have to switch one for the other, or which ones go up front and which tires go in the back of the car, now you're talking about some more specific knowledge, right? And if you want to learn how to balance, right, your tires, and how to make sure that the sensor of the tire pressure is in good condition, now you're talking about more specialized knowledge. Now you're talking about special tools, special calibrations, and all kinds of things that not everybody is going to be able to know. So if you have that kind of knowledge, that deep knowledge into a niche, into a specific area, you can start putting all that knowledge together in how you can express or how you can teach that knowledge, which takes us to the other part, right? When you have knowledge and you have skills, you can use those skills for many things. And I'm just putting here something that is very basic, like mentoring, like teaching, and and speaking about what you know. Because one thing, and you know, like I know, that one thing is to know something, and another very different thing is to teach something, right? I can speak about, for example, my native language. I'm from Mexico. I speak Spanish, and I can speak Spanish all the time. But to teach other people how to speak Spanish, it can become a challenge, right? Even though it's my native tongue, and I grew up speaking Spanish, teaching it can be a totally different game. So all that knowledge and those skills, when you elaborate on how to teach others how to do something, now you are getting into those skills: speaking, teaching, mentoring, and you can add other skills to this diagram. But now we are getting into something that is shaping up like a business, and we are not learning something new. The basic knowledge is there. We are just putting some structure to the knowledge and the skills that you already have in some form, right? Now you're the expert and you are putting things together, and now you need to connect with people. And to connect with people, you need to tell your story. Where do you come from? What is the environment that brought you to this moment of your life when you are presenting yourself as an expert? So your background, your story, and all those successes that you had along your journey are a key piece to accomplish success into that potential business. Again, you are not going to make up anything about yourself. You're not going to invent a story that doesn't correspond to who you are. You want people to know you the way you are. Nobody likes a fake. Nobody likes to talk to someone who can really tell their own story and be truthful to it. Transparency and integrity is something key in business. So if I tell you that I grew up with no house, I would be lying to you. because fortunately my dad was able to provide a shelter on top of my head. There are other folks who couldn't even afford a roof, and they have to live in other circumstances. So telling your own story is a key part of connecting with people. If you don't connect with people, then it's very difficult to start a business. And then another part that you want to start adding to this business framework is how you're gonna communicate that story to other people. You need to use today's technology and leverage today's technology to put yourself in front of the crowd, the masses, because social media and networking, it's a very nice tool to get to know people and for people to get to know you. You need to tell your story not only on the internet, but you also can participate with your local chamber of commerce, with local events, with events that are happening in your city or in your state. Or if you can afford it, then you can go to the big places where the big events happen, right? Like San Diego, Las Vegas, or San Francisco, Orlando, where those big events happen and you can meet thousands of people in a 2 or 3 day event, right? And the golden nugget that I want to point out here is this yellow balloon that I put there, which is create value. You want to use those mechanisms, those funnels, in order to create value and to make people understand that you are here to help them. And it's going to take some time because nobody likes help from a stranger, right? If my tire is flat and someone who I don't know stops and offers me help, in the beginning I might hesitate. That's the truth. We have become very adamant to just let a stranger come into our lives. So same here, you need to create value and put the value in front of people and offering things for free so they know that you know something, that you can help with some things, and that at some point you can offer products of high value that you can charge for, and then start creating some income for you. So that's how we put together what I want to call a business framework. See how now everything comes together, and from that moment on, when you work around that business framework, you want to start a cycle of creating value. The value creation is something that you want to do every day or as much as possible, right? So you take those pieces of nugget of your own knowledge on the niche that you want to work with, or the area that you know best, or whatever you enjoy, and now you start creating those small pieces of content. It can be written, it can be videos, it can be anything that you think that people are going to like. And the more people like your content, then you're going to be adding more value, and eventually you're going to be offering products that people can buy, that people can learn more, increase their knowledge and become better. And that's how on the right side of this chart now you start seeing that there's two lines. Well, the yellow line is the work that you need to put in, which in the beginning it's a lot, because you need to change your mindset, change your mentality. Instead of thinking I need money to start a business, is you start thinking, how can I do this? How can I put together all my knowledge into something that it can be put into the internet? And when you start doing that, now you start figuring out how you create systems, how you automate, how you take your creativity to the next level, so things get easier. So the work that you do starts coming down in time and effort. It doesn't mean that you are gonna get to zero, but at some point it's gonna be easier to manage, or maybe you can get into new projects. And on the other side, the earnings, the money that you can make out of this business in the beginning is zero, right? You need to be willing to work for some time. It could be months, it could be sometimes years, for free. So the recommendation is that if you have a job, well, you keep that job. That's what I'm doing. You keep your job and you work on the weekends, you work on the holidays, you work on at night 1 or 2 hours, and you put together your material that you can then put in front of people so they can see the value that you can provide. So this is the framework that you can create, and that framework can be as simple as this, or it can be as complicated with many layers and different other parts as you want, right? And just one thing that I want to emphasize is that the path to success can be understood in different ways by different people. And what I'm seeing is that some people want to get to success right away, that they want to go in a linear fashion. These two charts show you different ways on how people think about success. Some people think that I'm gonna be getting better and better and better, and that there's no obstacles, that I'm going to, keep growing all the time. And if you have that mindset, then this video is not for you, because there's a lot of work to do, and there's gonna be a lot of upsets. There's gonna be a lot of obstacles. There's be disappointments, and there's gonna be times where you wanna quit. Because yes, I've been there. Sometimes I want to quit. I think that I cannot do this. But that's when you have to remember that if you want to change your circumstances, you need to do things differently. And to do things differently, you need to think differently. So there's gonna be a lot of upsets, there's gonna be a lot of obstacles, and there's gonna be a lot of disappointments. But once you get over that mindset that, yes, I can accept failure as long as I learn something, and now I come again, and now I'm successful, eventually you're gonna be okay, and you're just gonna keep trying new things and how to accomplish what you want. So this is how success is more accurate, if you will, to look at it. And this is what I want to share with you. You can go back in this video and you can see what I share with you. You can look at all the specific parts of this framework that I put together, and this is basically something that I've been doing. Other people might have different representations of this, but the basic parts is exactly the same. All right, so I want you to be successful. I want you to understand that if we don't create value to each other, then there is no point in being here, right? And I want you to feel that I can help you. And if there's anything that you want to ask me, just put a comment underneath this video. And if you like this video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, so you can be on your path of success and learn every day. Because that's what I'm doing, and that's what we all should be doing. Learn, learn, and learn. So that's all I have for now. I wish you the best of success, and I see you in the next